Hey everybody, thanks for joining us on this episode of CodeChat. My name is Jeremy Foster. You can find me online at codefoster.com and on Twitter at codefoster. I'm joined today by Moshe Gutman. How are you doing, Moshe?
Doing well.
Moshe is from one of the startups, a startup called GeoSafe, and he's involved in the Microsoft Ventures, this cohort of the Microsoft Ventures effort. So coming and working downtown Seattle with the other 13 startups. We just talked with Rexter last week, with Andy from Rexter, and GeoSafe is another one of those. So
that's right.
Thanks. Welcome to the show, Moshe.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us about your involvement with Ventures, how you got started, how you made the rather rigorous selection, made it through the rather rigorous selection process.
Yeah, it was actually really random. I go to a lot of meetups in Austin, that's where I'm from,
okay.
And I saw that Microsoft was coming through, so I signed up for this thing, and I was like, well, I'll go check it out, but I'm not going to apply.
Yeah.
But after I heard the presentation, Mukun was very convincing. I was like, all right, let's do it. And I was like, well, maybe it's like a 1 in a million chance. I'm not sure I'll get into it.
Yeah.
And then I got the call back to come in for the jury day. I was so excited. And then I still thought, oh, I don't know. Still really tough because I got to talk to a lot of different people.
Yeah.
But got in and here I am.
So you talked to the other groups and saw that there was some decent competition in it.
Oh yeah, they wanted us to be there all day. So we got to kind of scope each other out and see what we were up against.
Yeah, and I was there too, and I got to see a lot of really big ideas. So it's just really neat. Now we're down to 14 groups, and it's really cool to talk to you and all the other startups about their ideas. Like, these ideas are your baby, you know? You've been working on this, you are working on it, you've got big visions for how it's going to work. I think some of the folks that are watching CodeChat, some are enterprise developers, some are indie developers or game developers, but I know we've got a number of startups in the crowd as well.
Yeah.
And they're working on this courage to go out on their own, maybe, to cut the tie to a day job and just go all out with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love seeing how different all the startups are. There aren't any two that are similar. And,
that's true.
And they're really different from what I do, so I love just learning about what everyone else is doing as well.
So you think overall an accelerator is a pretty big advantage to a startup?
Oh, absolutely. There's things that they make you think about that I hadn't ever thought about before. Just going through the application process alone was like, oh, yes, I should think about these business ideas and these business plans.
Yeah. We talked, when we were talking with Andy, about the sprints that we're doing, and one of those was the design sprint. Do you want to talk about what you may have done in the design sprint?
Yeah, so the Accelerator has a lot of these sprints, and the design sprint especially was interesting because when you're talking about software for running in the car, there's kind of a lot of things that you don't think about whenever you're designing software for the desktop. And one of the things that came out was to make the user interface dark. Because at nighttime when you're driving, you don't want a lot of glare on the driver's face, especially for public safety. It's a kind of an officer safety issue. And we also talked about toolbars. Typically when you have an application, you put toolbars at the top.
Right.
But whenever you have a touch screen, especially on a laptop, the laptop shakes a lot whenever you have toolbars at the top.
Oh yeah, the further away it is from the hinge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we move all the toolbars to the bottom, kind of like the reverse of a normal Windows app.
Yeah.
But, I go to a lot of ride-alongs with officers and detectives and see how they use the app every day. And I saw that, decided to move it down, and here we are.
Officers ride along. So we need to get some context on your app. First of all, what's your startup called?
Yeah, so my startup is GeoSafe. We're a public safety application.
Okay.
We write applications for police officers, for firefighters, and for paramedics working in the field.
Okay.
And what the app does is it lets them know where each other are at. It lets them communicate with other officers or other first responders. And it also lets them get to 911 calls more quickly.
Okay. Wow. So if I'm a police officer, I'm running this in my car, like you mentioned.
Yes, just like this.
And I can see where the ambulance is, where the fire truck is, where my other officers are.
Yeah. Sometimes, especially in bigger cities, you can't always know where everyone else is at. There's multiple agencies working together, so GeoSafe helps bring them all onto the same page.
Okay. Now, is it public? Can I go look at where they're at?
Unfortunately, no. This
is private information, right?
Oh yeah, only for city use or for government use. But they love using it. It helps them do their job more effectively.
I guess. Is it integrated with like a dispatch system?
Yes. So we integrate with multiple dispatch centers. So whenever, let's say you want to call 911, you'll call in and that information immediately shows up on the officer's tablet or laptop.
Okay, so walk me through some of the common scenarios in the application. Like it's not just I get in the car and I look at the screen and I get to see where my fellow cop cars are or the ambulance is, but walk me through the various use cases. What do people actually use it for?
Yeah, so very common is the 911 call. The dispatcher starts typing in the information back at the dispatch center, and the officer needs to know all the pertinent information, the address of the call, who called 911, maybe a gate code to get into a neighborhood. All that information is usually broadcast over the radio, but with this app, they're able to see it and read it, and they can see how far their backup is.
Okay.
I think we should maybe take a look at it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Let's do it.
So I'm going to switch over this screen. Okay. So this is just running off of my iPad here. Each one of these circles is the location of a police officer or a firefighter. So that's Officer Littleton. Don't worry, this is actually just demo data.
Okay.
We're not showing where police are. So I just tap on the officer's location, and you can see where that officer is. And they're all color-coded based on their status. So red means the officer is busy.
Okay.
Green means the officer is available. They're just driving around.
Wow, that's pretty interesting.
These pins are the locations of 911 calls. So we can see that there's a fire over there. There's an alarm. So let's tap on the alarm call. And we can see the information about that call. It's at 401 Congress. We see the phone number, the Smith residence. The motion alarm is going off, so someone needs to go check it out.
Wow. So as opposed to, I'm thinking of being an officer and responding to one call at a time. Of course, I can only handle one thing at a time,
right.
I guess. I've never been an officer before, but you've done ride-alongs.
Yeah.
But now I have this kind of macro way of looking at the whole town and what's happening where. And does it open up any new possibilities or any new...
This actually happens all the time. An officer will be on let's say a low priority traffic stop, and there'll be a burglary across the street. So you can immediately switch and go to the higher priority call.
I see.
And you can also see where your backup is. So if there's a really big incident, like a wreck, you can see where the fire trucks are and where the ambulances are as well.
Yeah.
Actually, I have an accident on here. If I zoom out a little bit, we can see here on the interstate. Let me switch this over to satellite mode.
Oh, look at that.
So M7, that would be an ambulance.
Okay.
And we have a fire truck and a police officer all here working together on one page.
And they know these codes? They're going to recognize an L1?
Yeah, L1 is a ladder truck, ladder 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you can easily switch between street view and satellite
view?
Yeah,
everything is one touch. I kind of thought about whenever we approach design, having it in a simple way. You kind of want to look at something quickly and start moving. You don't want to spend a lot of time.
Well, you're in a car too.
Yeah.
I mean, this is an officer driving in a car and interacting with this.
Right.
Now you're showing us on the iPad. You also mentioned laptops. So might they be using one or the other or both?
Yeah, we have a lot of customers that use our iPhone, iPad, and Windows version simultaneously. When they get out of the car, they'll check it on their phone, and when they're in the vehicle, they'll use we use WPF version for that application.
What do you think about this multi-platform world? Because you've got experience with it. You're building an application that has to sit behind very disparate platforms, platforms with very different code bases, but obviously they're all talking to the same service.
That's right.
And they're all pulling down data. So is this a hard world to work in, or is it just fine because of modern technology?
Yeah, so we're in the cloud. We use Azure for our backend, which is nice because we're in the Microsoft's accelerator. That gives us a lot of support, technical support.
And you've been on Azure for a while.
Yeah, we started on Azure actually. I don't think the startup could actually exist without being on the cloud first.
Yeah, right.
We never know when we're going to get a big customer next, and we don't have
Bam,
to worry about that. Yeah, like all this
thousands more cop cars or something.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we don't worry about that, about the scale issues.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lesson I'm trying to tell other startups in the cohort, that they should think about cloud first.
Yeah, right. Well, and also I feel like you made a good choice jumping into Azure, and then you've probably seen, since you've been on it for a while, a number of improvements to it. The feature set broadening, the performance specs deepening, and all of this, all of a sudden, I mean, you're just subscribing to Azure and putting your technology in Azure, and then all of a sudden the platform that you're on is expanding and growing and getting better and more performant and more redundant, and that's great. So it's not like you're just choosing based on the technology offering today. You're kind of choosing the company when you sign up.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just an example, we used to do push notifications in-house.
Oh, okay.
And as soon as that feature came available on Azure,
bam, all
we
of a
moved
sudden
it.
you
Yeah,
get,
and now
that's great.
I don't worry if I need to send out a million push notifications. I know Microsoft can handle it.
Yeah, and you don't worry if you need to target one kind of a platform or a different kind of a
Did
platform.
our engineering team do it correctly? We kind of offload that on to you guys.
So do you feel like whatever your usage is today, if tomorrow you signed up a few contracts and you had 10x demand, you'd have no trouble?
No problem.
You'd sleep well tonight?
It auto scales. It's really cool, actually.
Wow.
Yeah. We had a situation where there was a major tornado in Oklahoma where a lot of our customers are based. And there were so many people starting to use the system that it started auto-scaling, which was really cool.
That's neat to see that.
It was a test of the system, and it worked beautifully. And
did you get any alerts that say, hey, it looks like usage is really
we have some telemetry that's tracking all this. And, you hold your breath, but it worked perfectly.
Boy, things are so different than they were 10 years ago, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, can you imagine like having to deal with your own servers and having to have network engineers on staff? It's hard to run a startup on a bootstrap basis. And here,
well, and very likely you'd be in a scenario 10 years ago where if you enabled all of that by creating a scenario that did have enough servers, you'd be probably using all of those servers, even when there were no tornadoes, right?
Absolutely.
You'd be paying for all of that when you were only using a little tiny bit of it.
So it's kind of nice to be able to just pay for what you need and then grow with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. So tell me how you got started with GeoSafe, with this area. Is this a passion of yours, or did you fall into it, or what?
Yeah, so I just had some detective friends growing up in Oklahoma, and I went on a lot of ride-alongs, and I could see the applications that they were using on a daily basis. And I just couldn't believe my eyes at what I saw. So I thought, I should fix this. So I was really lucky to kind of learn about this field, and the cities that I use really help me out a lot. We get a lot of feedback from them, and it's kind of an iterative process going back and forth.
Well, I certainly wish your startup the best of success. I'm glad that you guys are in the accelerator, so you can take advantage of those things, and so that the rest of us in the accelerator can learn from you. Let me ask you a question. What upcoming technologies are you excited about?
Yeah, I'm really excited about wearables. I think some watch came out today, and I think there's a really cool space there where you're tracking officers. Instead of just their vehicles, you can track them to the level of the person.
Yeah.
So that's really helpful in stadium environments where you're not actually in your car.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, or even horseback or bicycle, or
exactly.
walking around a park. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
It'll be interesting to see where that tech goes.
The part of wearables that I'm kind of excited about is the subtlety of it. Like my Microsoft band isn't capable of making any noise. I know that it's never going to interrupt me in a meeting or anything. It's just going to buzz, and I'm the only one that knows. And so whether it's waking me up in the morning with a subtle little buzz buzz, or whether I'm in a meeting and it's just going bzz, bzz, and I can glance down and look at my wrist, and I've got some information that I just took in, and I didn't have to, reach into my pocket and pull out my phone and kind of, rudely turn my attention away from whoever I'm talking to. I was just able to glance at it. I like those scenarios that the wearables are opening up.
Back in an emergency context, that's another 5-10 seconds that you could have been already trying to go save a patient or someone in need. So it's all about reducing the time to getting to the person who called 911.
That's something interesting that's in your space, because a lot of us are trying to increase our productivity and increase our efficiency and reduce our wasted time so that we can have more recreation at the end of the day or whatever, but you're trying to make some people more efficient so that they can save lives and put out fires and make hearts beat again.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want it to be too grim, but it's life and death situations. Every second counts, and it's kind of exciting to be able to help in a small way.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's really fun. That's a fun topic. Again, totally wish you the best of success in all your efforts there.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you want to tell developers while we're at it?
Yeah, we're hiring. We need Android developers. We need Swift developers. We also need .NET developers. We're on all 3 platforms. So any one of those people with those skill set, just send me a tweet on @GeoSafe, and we'll get you hooked up.
Okay, so tweet on @GeoSafe.
That's right, @GeoSafe, and send your resume or a link to your resume.
All right.
Cool.
All right, well, let's go ahead and close it out. Thanks, everybody, for joining Moshe and I on this episode of Code Chat. We'll see you next time.